What would you do if your mom was your best friend? For Rory Gilmore, that's just everyday life. From cramming to exams, to dating advice, to inside jokes over takeout and coffee, her mother Lorelai isn't just a mom, she's her closest confidant. When the show first aired in 2000, it didn't just give us a fast-paced dialogue and small-town charm. It gave us something we didn't really have on TV before. A mother-daughter relationship portrayed not by strict discipline and distance, but deep friendship, emotional honesty, and mutual respect. Over the past few weeks, I've been researching the cultural and psychological aspects of this unique relationship. I've revisited some of the most impactful scenes, and I've read what psychologists and critics have to say about its impact. Today, I'm going to explain how Gilmore Girls redefines the traditional TV mother-daughter relationship through a bond rooted in friendship, ambition, and vulnerability. First, I'll explain what makes the relationship so unique. Then, I'll explore why it has remained so popular over the years. Finally, I'll compare it to more traditional portrayals of mother-daughter relationships on TV. To begin, Lorelai and Rory's bond. What makes it so different? Well, Lorelai is a single mother who had Rory at 16, and she chose not to be a strict mother. She wanted a trust bond with her daughter. According to Emily Nussbaum, a television critic for the New Yorker, the show helped reframe what it meant to be a modern single mother, funny, flawed, and fully in charge. Lorelai doesn't yell, ground, or enforce rigid rules. She's more like a big sister in ways, but she does know when it is necessary to be a mother. Now let's talk about how the audience responded to the dynamic. Even though the show ended in 2007, Gilmore Girls is still one of the most beloved series out there. In fact, Times Magazine reported that it was the most streamed show on Netflix in 2020. That's 20 years after it's aired. Why does it keep coming back? Because it resonates with people. Not just Rory going off to college, moving from a small town, but Lorelai as well. She is not just a mother, she is a business owner and a daughter herself trying to figure out her relationship with her parents, as complicated it is. The audience connects to the show, not because it's perfect, but because it feels real. It's emotional storytelling, especially in the ups and downs in the mother-daughter relationships. It keeps the people watching and relating. Now, how does Gilmore Girls compare to other mother-daughter relationships? Well, if we compare it to shows like Full House or The Cosby Show, those parents were kind, but the structure was fully clear. They had full authorities, the child had rules, and tough conversations stayed behind closed doors. For Rory and Lorelai, it's completely different. They talk about everything. College choices, boyfriend, money, regrets, even sex and heartbreak. They don't pretend like everything's fine, and honestly, that's refreshing. According to an article by Dr. Jill Skwarberski published in Pice Chai, Lorelai uses a hybrid parenting style. She blends permissive and authoritative traits. She's flexible and warm, but is also firm when it counts. And that parenting approach is what many modern moms relate to. What's revolutionary about Lorelai and Rory's is that they aren't just parent and child. They're partners. They support each other through life's chaos. They try to do it by choosing connection over control. What does all of this mean? Gilmore Girls challenges the traditional portrayals of mother-daughter relationships by showing dynamic routes in trust, honesty, and emotional closeness. We explored what makes their bond unique, how the show became a cultural phenomenon, and how it stands apart from traditional parenting models we've seen on TV. Now, whether or not your mom is your best friend, Gilmore Girls reminds us of the respect, communication at the heart of a strong relationship, family or otherwise, because in the end, it is not just about the parent, it's partnership. And sometimes partnership begins over a cup of coffee and a whole